Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Wellness Wednesday with Dr. Latoya Wells. I am Dr. Latoya Wells, family nurse practitioner, doctor of nursing practice, owner of Wells Legacy Health and Wellness, welcoming you to another episode of Wellness Wednesday. I'm so grateful to be here with you all again tonight. This month we've been talking about all things heart health, and I'm excited for tonight's topic because I think it just brings it all together, all of the different topics with a health and wellness flair, right? You all know I'm big on health and wellness. I'm big on prevention. I'm big on education and making sure that my patients have what they need to create a legacy of good health. My family, my friends, my patients, my community. And so tonight, what we're going to do is spend some time talking about some of the things that we can do as individuals to help have a healthy heart. I got tongue tied there. So if you guys don't know me, I am a family nurse practitioner. I own Wells Legacy Health and Wellness. We are a full service primary care practice in Altamont Springs, Florida. We are now accepting insurances. So if you would like to schedule an appointment with and see if we are accepting your insurance, please give us a call at 321-306-6755 and we can discuss your needs. We can discuss the type of insurance you have and we can look to get you an appointment scheduled. We're going to be discussing tonight small changes, big impact. That's my topic. Small changes, big impact. Simple things that you can do daily that will add up to a healthy heart. And so, one of the things that we want to talk about is whenever we make plans and you set a goal, or many who set resolutions, or they have vision boards, and on those vision boards, they have goals, they have their to-do list and things that they want to accomplish. And if we start off too fast, then many times you'll lose momentum. And over time, if you're not seeing changes happening quick enough, then many individuals lose momentum and tend to revert back to what's more comfortable. And so small changes matter. Small changes help. Many people, again, feel overwhelmed with drastic health changes. So the small, consistent habits lead to long-term success. So if you are someone who ran track, and if you know anything about track, and I ran track, and if you run long distances, even short distances, if you take off too quick and you come out of the gate with too much, enthusiasm, and you're at your top speed, you're going to wear down quickly. You're not going to have the stamina to continue that race, especially if you're running long distance. And don't ask me what the races are called, the 400s, 500s, I don't even remember at this point. But if you come out of the gate too quick, if you have too much gas on the pedal when you come out, you're going to lose steam and you're not going to have the energy and the drive or the stamina to continue that run, especially if you're going long distance. You have to pace yourself, and that's what it's all about. Statistics show that 45% of daily behaviors are habitual. So things that we do daily can become habits. And there was some statistic out there saying to the effect of, if you do something for 21 days, then it becomes a habit. And I've read some information on that. There's some pros and cons about that. But the more you are able to stay consistent, and something that I've been hearing among friend groups is consistency a lot. Being able to stay consistency. So setting small goals that will help you be successful. The key to healthy habits is starting today. And if you mess up, start over tomorrow. You can always continue and start over. Start over as many times as you need to until you get it. Make a habit of working out 3 days a week. And then once you convert 3 days a week, then move it to 4 days a week, and then 5 days a week. Or even start with 1 day a week. Start with the small things and then add on as you get comfortable and as you kind of get used to that. So some things that I want you to take into consideration when it comes to healthy habits. And one thing that I've talked about is hydration. Drinking enough water ensures that you have energy and that your body is able to metabolize the foods and the things that you're taking in. Aim for half of your body weight in ounces, and we've talked about that. half of your body weight in ounces is what you want to drink per day. And there's many different things out there that you can utilize. There's apps on your phone. There's habit trackers that you can download. And I'll post some links to those on the pages and on our channel. But it's so important that you start with the small things. And I just want to make sure I'm keeping on track. I have my notes here so to keep me on track, because I can tend to get off of topic. And so when it comes to nutrition and making changes in our diet, so you want to try and swapping the processed foods, the snacks, the processed foods, the eating out with healthier whole foods, especially when we're talking about snacks. So I don't know how healthy Chex Mix is, but I've been snacking on this bag of Chex Mix for the longest. And could I have chosen a healthier option? Sure, I could have. Like nuts and fruits and lean proteins are some of the things that I could have chosen. And I'm putting myself out there. I'm not calling anybody out on the carpet. I'm just putting myself out there. And we have the ability to make those choices. And once we set it in our minds that this is what we want to do, one of the things that has helped me is to prepare. So meal prep, down to my snacks, down to smoothies, making sure that I have everything prepped. And how I prep my smoothies when I'm doing, smoothies each day is I will get all of the fruits, all of the berries, all of the things that I'm going to put in my smoothie. If I'm adding any protein powder, any collagen, any flaxseed or chia seeds, I have those all in one bag. Then I have my fruit in one bag, and then I have the greens in another bag, and I put it all in a big bag, and I put it in the freezer, and I have it labeled day through whatever. So if I'm doing smoothies for a week, then I have my smoothies all ready to go. I'm a little different on how I do my smoothies. I blend them in phases because I like it to be very well blended, and that just works for me. But you figure out what works for you in terms of attempting to meal prep. Increase your fiber intake. Fiber is so important for a healthy gut, and it reduces cravings. When you have increased extra fiber on board, you feel fuller faster. So you're not tempted to snack all day long. You're not tempted to overeat because you've added in that fiber, and you no longer feel hungry as often as you necessarily would. One of the other things is movement. Incorporating short, frequent physical activity. I did not know this, but there's a statistic that shows that if individuals who sit for work more than 8 hours a day increases mortality risk by 20%. And that's according to the American Heart Association. So sitting for more than 8 hours a day increases your likelihood of dying by 20%. So it's important that we get our bodies moving. We've already talked about it. 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise 5 days a week. If you see that as being too big and you can't eat that whole pie in one sitting, break it down into slices. 1 day a week, 30 minutes a day, and then increase daily, right? And start with something small, a walk, a 10, 15-minute walk. The time that it takes for me to walk my dogs around my little cul-de-sac is about 10 minutes. So if I do that 3 times a day, then I've gotten 30 minutes of exercise. It's not moderate intensity, but it's some type of movement, right? And that's what I do throughout the day during my breaks. When I need to take a break, I'll get up, I'll go walk the dogs. Or as I let them outside, I'll kind of walk around in the yard to, as they're relieving themselves. That way I'm moving, because I do sit a lot. When I'm working, I do sit a lot. And so it's important for me to move, because when I don't move, my joints become achy and they become stiff, and it's just really uncomfortable, and I don't like it. So moving your body is going to be so important. The next thing that I want to talk about is sleep. And we've talked about sleep, how important sleep is. The quality of sleep improves metabolism, it improves your immunity, it improves your mental health. And you're less likely to become sick. You're not as cranky and irritated. Your mental health is better when you're well rested. Because I don't know about you, but in a given day, I'm dealing with a lot. And with that comes stress. And if I'm tired, I'm not is well equipped to deal with those stressors that may come. And so for me, I have to prioritize my sleep. We've talked about establishing the sleep routine or sleep hygiene. So avoiding screen time before bed, having a plan that you're going to be in your room, in your bed at this time. You're going to put your phone down. You're not going to pick it up. For me, I put my phone in sleep mode at 10 o'clock. It shuts down. Sometimes I turn it off because I'm still in the midst of doing whatever it is that I'm doing at the moment. And so I don't always get it right, but it's something and it helps. I also have alarms set that help me wake up in the morning. And I have serial alarms. So I have alarm at 5 o'clock. I have alarm at 6 o'clock. I have alarm at 7 o'clock. So my plan each morning is to be up at 5, but sometimes that does not happen. I know for sure I'm going to be up by 6 because there's things that I have to do. So setting alarms, making sure that you are putting together or putting things in place for good sleep hygiene. One of the things that has helped me, and I think I mentioned it before in regards to sleep, is a weighted blanket. I have a 15-pound weighted blanket, and I tell you, best sleep ever when I have my weighted blanket. I feel I don't toss and turn as much. I feel like I get real good quality deep sleep, and I wake up really refreshed with it. Now I gotta fight to get that to get that blanket off of me, or if I'm trying to move. But I think that's the sole purpose, is to kind of keep you in one position, and it just feels like this big hug all night long. So if you haven't tried a weighted blanket, I would definitely suggest it. And again, before you do or try anything, always talk with your healthcare provider to ensure that it's okay. I don't know what your healthcare issues are. I don't know what your comorbidities are. I don't know what you're dealing with. And so these are just suggestions. And I always want to encourage individuals to talk with their healthcare providers. As I just mentioned, stress. It is so important that we are managing our stress. Stress comes in different forms. It can come from relationships. It can come from health issues. It can come from finances. It can come from work. Just living in this world that we live in, there's stress. Watching the news can cause individuals to be stressed. And with that, individuals who deal with anxiety, their anxiety increases. They deal with social anxiety. They deal with depression. Those things begin to increase. And so being able to manage stress is going to be important. Some of the things that we've already talked about is, for me, praying, deep breathing, meditation, journaling, getting out and walking, getting fresh air. One of the things that I was talking about recently is some of the things that help me find peace or to relieve stress. And one of the things is working out. When I go and work out, it's like I'm leaving it all right there on that bike, on my Peloton or on the treadmill, or I'm pounding out with the weights as I'm lifting heavy weights. And for me, those are things that help me to relieve stress. Another thing is going to the beach, just being by the water. I don't even have to get in, just being by the water is very peaceful for me, and that helps. And so figure out what it is that works for you that will help you deal with and manage your stress. Chronic stress increases the risk of heart disease by 40%. Chronic stress, which is stress that an individual is dealing with for more than 30 to 60 days, is considered chronic stress. And that can increase your chances of developing heart disease by 40%. On top of all the other things that could increase your risk, family history, your diet, lack of exercise. So that just increases the chances of developing cardiac disease or heart disease. Accountability and consistency. I talked about consistency earlier. And some of the things that we can use, and I talked about some of those habit trackers. You can download things on your phone. These phones have everything. You can track pretty much anything on your phone. If you are someone that journals or have a planner, there's things that you can add to your journal and your planner to help you track things as well. But staying habit. Another statistic, it takes about 66 days on average to form a habit. Now, I just told you earlier, someone mentioned 21 days, and I don't have the author of this, but the European Journal of Social Psychology brought this new statistic or this new cadence of it. So 66 days on average to form a habit. So it went from 21 to 66. So whatever and how many days it takes for you to be consistent, do what works for you. I am on a journey to be consistent with a certain thing, with several things. And for me, I function well with routine. And the caveat to that for me is if I travel, if my plans change, something happens and it throws me off of my routine, it's hard for me to get back on that routine. And so using tools that work for you to help you stay consistent is going to be the key. Now, I just want to recap a little bit in terms of the things that we've talked about. We've talked about high blood pressure, what that looks like. It's a silent killer. Blood pressure that's greater than between 120 over 30, higher than that, or 80 over 90 is considered hypertension or high blood pressure. High blood pressure can cause target organ damage. It can damage the heart muscle. It can damage the arteries. It can damage the kidneys. It can damage the eyes. It can damage those blood vessels that lead to the hands and the feet. It can cause strokes. It can cause heart failure. There's so many different things that can cause impotence in men because the blood flow is not regulated. There's coronary artery disease where there's an issue in hardening of the arteries or the blood vessels. There's myocardial infarction, which is a heart attack. There's strokes. There's so many different things. We have congestive heart failure where one side of the heart is not pumping because it's worn out and it's enlarged and it's not pumping properly. And you have fluid that's backing up into your lungs and into other areas of your body, which is causing edema or swelling. You have atrial fibrillation and palpitations or arrhythmias, which is irregular heartbeats. That could cause strokes because with AFib, it's putting you at a higher risk for developing a blood clot to lead to your brain, to other parts of your body. You have plaque from high cholesterol that could block those arteries and lead to a heart attack, which is causing death of a part of the heart. So there's many different things that we talked about throughout this month about heart disease. Last week, we talked about Young Heart Matters and sudden cardiac death and arrhythmias and the electrical part of the heart. So it's so important that we know the signs and symptoms, that we know our bodies, that we're getting the screenings and we're getting the preventative exams done. Those physical exams each year, many people say, what is it for? I'm healthy. You'd be amazed at how many times we pick things up on an annual physical exam that would not have been caught if that individual had not come in. And many of them are life-saving. So it's important that we take our health, we put it as a priority, and we make sure that we're taking care of those that we love, those that we know, our family, our friends, and ourselves, because we can't pour from an empty, raggedy cup if we're not healthy and we're tired and we're worn down and we're beat down because we're allowing stress and all the things to just wear on us. So what are some of the things that you do? What are some habits that you want to create? What are some things that you want to improve upon? And how can I help you to stay consistent? I'm going to be posting some things on social media, some polls and things of that nature to just kind of garner some information and get interest about different things. So if there's anything that I can do to help you to be successful on your journey, please reach out and let me know. Tonight is going to be kind of short. Usually we're here for about 30 minutes, but I just wanted to be able to pull all this stuff, to pull all of the different things that we talked about into one simple message. And that is, take care of your heart. Take care of your body. Do the things that you know that you need to do to make sure that you're taking care of you. If you're on medications and they've been prescribed and you need it for your blood pressure, take the medication. Are there natural things that can be done? Of course there are. However, some individuals have to be on medication until they can get in a good groove, diet and exercise wise, to where they're able to lose weight, they're able to get their cholesterol under control, and we begin to see those numbers lower. Another thing that I want to talk about is the importance of CPR. Many of you know that I'm a certified CPR instructor, and I provide CPR classes to the community, to professionals, to families. We have a service called Family and Friends CPR. If you or your family or someone you know needs CPR services, reach out to us and we will be glad to get you scheduled for a service. If you are a healthcare provider, if you are a owner of a daycare, preschool, or private school and or facility, healthcare facility, group home, what have you, and you need CPR certification for your staff and for your employees, please reach out to us so that we can talk to you about the services that we have available and get you scheduled for CPR. It's so important that we know those life-saving skills, because you'd be amazed at how many people drop dead each and every day and are surrounded by people who don't know CPR. And if someone in that group had known CPR, the chances of that individual surviving would have gone up substantially. I don't want to scare anybody. I just want to make sure that I'm providing you all with the education and the information that you need. And hopefully it is helpful for you. This is Dr. Latoya Wells with Wells Legacy Health and Wellness, encouraging you to stay safe and be well. Reach out to us if you need any help. We're here for you. Until next time, have a great week. Bye.